Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Xenogears. I'm Dan,
And I'm Austin,
and we are here to play games.
with more questions than answers.
That's right. All right, so last time on Xenogears, we had a huge amount of content, and it's my intention in this episode to take a little bit of time to digest a little bit of the information and some of the reveals we've had. We do have a couple of things to do before we kind of get to a point where we're doing something that will allow for a little more discussion. So we're going to go ahead and finish some things up. We did handle the Ethos HQ last time, which was invaded by spies from Solaris, agents from Solaris, and we learned a bunch about the Ethos. As well as dealt with the Ethos dig site in the ancient ruins of Zeboim, and dealt with the other two elements, Talon and Seraphita, and dealt with the demon of Elru, who we learned is named Id.
Yes. Yeah, Id.
Yes.
And Id and Wiseman were duking it out when we left. So
They were. Yeah, it was extraordinary violence happening as we left.
mhm. And Faye disappeared too. We don't really know what happened to him just yet.
Yep. Faye woke up right before all of this nonsense went down, and he seemed to have ran off. There was a lot of things that were being said by Ellie when we were down in the Zeboim site, and there was some commonality with that, with what he was saying as he was waking up. It was very odd looking, for sure.
Right.
I believe this should be the correct location. Yep. And look who it is.
Why is Veltal smoking?
Good question.
Faye? Doc. What's up, man? Faye, feeling better already? Yeah, probably.
You seem confused.
Yeah. What are you doing riding a gear when you're only just recovering? I don't know what I'm doing here myself. I don't have a clear head yet. Faye, you should not be moving around yet. Well, you know.
Problems, though.
Alcon shell located straight ahead. Prepare gears for launch.
There it is.
Seems like they're watching us.
As a reminder, this was Bishop Stone, his gear. Or
Yeah.
Stein, as he is also known.
Yeah. Jerkface McGee, as I like to call him.
Yep, who we were chasing down all last episode. Now he's hovering over. He's hovering there menacingly.
I must go. You are in no condition to participate. Let us take care of this. Looks like it's time to settle the score, but Faye should be resting. Yes, I shall take Faye to the infirmary. Billy, please take care of the rest of things.
All right. So Faye is finally conscious again, but he is unavailable, as is Seitan. So we're going to do Billy, Ellie, and Bart for this fight. One other note for this fight, if you've been buying ether doublers, you can stick one on Billy and Ellie. They will clean house with ether attacks on this one.
Whoa, his face looks way different.
Yes, it does. He looks all crazy.
happened?
Yeah, great question.
I'm sorry, are you actually Red Skull?
That's what he looks like.
What in the world?
So,
Observing. What a roundabout way. Just take care of it and I'll be over. Oh, he's freaky looking.
uh-huh.
Those who become enemies of the sacred Gazel, I will eliminate them all. Repent now.
Do you want the power?
You want the power?
Oh boy. Or should I say,
Graph?
do you
Graph.
want the power? Yeah.
Yeah. Rah, rah, fight the power. Who are you?
Here we go.
It's pretentious.
Yep. Once again, he comes descending from the sky to create problems.
Yep. Oh, man.
I love this theme.
I am Graph, the seeker of power. Doth thou desire the power? Power? There's power in here. I received this body from Krellian. Oh, so you let him turn you into a Reaper. Got it.
Yeah, he allowed Krellian to modify his body.
Dum-dum.
Mm-hmm.
All this power is fake. Do you think you can win with it? What do you mean, fake power? A fake body, a fake awakening. It is all useless. I will give you the power. My fist is the divine breath. Goldfinger! Blossom, O fallen seed, and draw upon thy hidden powers. Grant unto thee the power of the glorious Mother of Destruction. That's the second time he's used Mother of something.
Mother of Destruction. Yeah. Alcachel. Alright. So, beginning of this fight, you're going to not want to kick in boosters because I'll just demonstrate here. Can't do damage to it currently. Damage nullified. So, best thing to do here is probably just raise your attack levels and watch your HP. If you dip below about 2,000, you just use a frame HP to heal.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep. And I am still running Seal AR, at least on Rin Mazuo and Vierge here. So that damage is getting halved. That's generally a good idea. You can always equip Seal AR on Bart's gear as well. But I don't find it really necessary in this fight to get too crazy with the equipment. What you have equipped is generally going to be fine.
Yeah, sure. Steel!
Yeah, we're still around 4,500 HP. On Ellie's got the lowest HP at the moment, so. Yeah, and if you do want to just attack and not use a death blow, so you can see it comes up, I can do a death blow, just hit circle to back out, by the way. Here we go. I think that was 3 rounds and you get a cutscene.
No good. Didn't get through. There's some kind of barrier. Some kind of negative feeling. Hatred somehow changed into ether, forming a barrier. Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If we can somehow change our strong force of will into ether also and throw that back at it.
We have to use the power of friendship.
Chaos only used the negative parts of the Chaos Emerald.
Oh,
You
boy.
can still use the positive energy. Ha! Son of Josiah, are you suffering? When I took you in 4 years ago, that was proof of my old friendship with your father. And that hated, stained friendship with Josiah, we competed for command of Gebler. Oh, that's...
Interesting, isn't it?
Yep. Josiah, like a beast, you stole the Raquel I love. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And threw away the command of Gebler that I wanted so much, and then disappeared from Solaris. "4 years ago, after searching to the ends of the earth, no trace of him could be found. Raquel dirtied by him. And the reminder of that taint, you and your sister. Through Krelian's wisdom, using the Vels, I saved Raquel from misery."
Sure.
Okay, yes. Exactly how I called that.
Mm-hmm.
You son of a... You used the wells against my mother? Yes, Billy, let me tell you something good. Those reapers that you have been purging are really all people. They were chosen by the ethos and converted by Krelian. You've been slaughtering people. A wretched son for a wretched father.
Truly despicable person here.
Yeah. Who's the wretch?
Indeed.
Ah, confess to me. Pray for your sins. No, there's nothing there for you to regret, Billy.
Uh-huh.
Huh? You say you and Raquel were in love? You always were a narcissistic, self-preserving fool. This voice. I'm assuming it's Josiah.
Yep.
Okay, good. I'll take this one. Use this, Billy. If you use this, you can rip off the barrier. That is a butt line. It is an ether gun gear where the pilot rides directly in the bullet. Jeez.
Yeah.
If we use that, we can break Stone's negative hatred power. However, as long as you don't mind kamikazing into another ship, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ramming speed. Billy, if we merge our gears together, then we can break through that barrier with our combined attack. See, I told you this was all about the Voltron gear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to borrow your shoulder for a moment, so start aiming now. Let's wrap this up once and for all, eh, Stein? But I want you to know that you aren't going to see Raquel when you die. That's because your destination is going to be hell. Aw, hell. I knew it. Josiah's planning on using it. He must be stopped. Billy, can you hear me? Billy? No good. There's no response. Billy, you know now, don't you? Stein's teachings were all a deception. That fabricated faith was just a worldly system for compensating those people with fragile souls. But faith and God aren't things which are given to you from the others, right? Huh.
Mm.
There are things you have to discover within yourself and by yourself. Things that cannot be put into words. Things that cannot be expressed. Isn't that what God is all about? Question not thy God, for thy God doth not respond. The reason I taught you how to use a gun as a child was to save people. Now, say that guns are just tools for killing people, but you are wrong. Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Oh, Jessie. Oh, Jessie.
Such a trite phrase. Have you ever looked at the expressions on the faces of those Reapers you destroyed? It is an excruciating process to be turned into a Reaper. To ease their torturous pain, they seek human blood and attack people in order to get it. But that does not vanquish the true pain within their hearts. There's only one way to be saved from the pain. That is by termination. Didn't all those Reapers put out their misery by you have peaceful looks on their faces? Your gun saved those people who were turned into Reapers. It's not something anyone can do. The faith that enabled you to accomplish that was no deception. God exists within you. Father. All right now, let's go, Billy, go. Wow.
Big gun.
It's his magnum opus. Anyway.
Barrier terminated.
Nice. Too late. Billy! It is a weapon that uses its pilot as the warhead. What? Then Father is... Oh my god.
Okay, yeah. Mass limit, HP halved.
Ooh, that's super wobbly.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
So we're still in good shape here. I will, well, just gonna kick in booster here on everybody. But goes much lower, it's gonna be a good idea to go ahead and heal up. But Ellie's the lowest at just over 2k, so. But I'm gonna open with air odds here. And Alconchel has 13,000 HP. See how much of that we do with air odds here with Ether Doubler.
What's the highest HP we've had to fight so far? Oof.
It might be this boss. A lot of the stuff we've fought so far has had 4-digit. So generally this game will raise its HP value steadily as you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I figured it was like each sequential boss is higher.
Yeah.
But I know it like varies too.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's certainly true. All right, let's see if... No, I want to use Wild Smile. Now, I don't think Wild Smile does much in this fight, but it does have... Alconchel does have a couple of physical attacks, so it's a good idea to lower its accuracy.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, did I forget to booster Billy? I must have.
You silly person.
More air odds. Yeah, just completely let loose in this fight. If your fuel gets low, you can charge it up, but especially if you've got Power Magic and Ether Doubler on Ellie, just go crazy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, booster. Go. Don't mind me, just spamming air odds. Ellie has done almost the entire boss gauge with air odds in this fight, so...
Right, it does so much damage, like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's huge amounts of damage. Okay, let's do a death blow here. We'll do a hard snap. There's a weird camera angle there. That it? Yep.
Experience with Xenogears without it.
Alconchel. Bye now. Yeah. Alconchel does do a ending hit that can do up to 600 to everybody. So make sure you keep above that. You should be well above it, though.
Yeah, a dying move.
Yeah. Yep. Good bit of money for that fight, too. 30,000 G.
Yeah. Dad. Billy, I should not have made such a thing.
So Seitan made the bunt line.
He's clearly made a bunch of stuff.
He has.
No, it's not your fault. Sorry, Billy. No, it's not your fault. This is the best way to see Father off. What a, unceremonious way. Oh, there he is. I was about to be like, come on, man.
Uh-huh.
You're right. Thanks, son.
What the?
Dad. Old friend, are you all right? You better believe it. I ain't gonna leave that stupid junk alone. I improved it. Ouchy-Wow-Wow, but I never want to do that again, though. Ouchy-Wow-Wow.
Just... Oh, boy. I love the weird expressions that end up left in the dialogue of this game sometimes. Oh, my Gobrino.
Oh, yeah. But still, talking about hell, I'm surprised to know it's an irreligious person like you would believe in life after death. Oh, so you were listening? That was a curse. Isn't that a fitting end for him? It is definitely your style. Pa? Pa?
She's talking!
Prim? Prim, what did you say? Prim? Huh? Huh? Did you hear that? Primera's problem seemed to have been solved. Huh. Prim talked. Prim just talked. Hey, Prim, now say my name. Say Billy. Papa?
Yeah. It would be appropriate if she just kept saying, come on.
Right. What about the ethos? They've completely devastated themselves. That mob just goes from bad to worse. Do you not think it is about time you told your son the truth, old friend? You were not just wandering about drinking and picking fights, were you? I'm sure he wants to know what you've been up to. Is that right, Billy? Yes, it would certainly make me feel a lot better. I now know my dad was worried about me the whole time, but I haven't worked out my feelings yet. Because he's been gone for 12 years.
Yup.
What do you mean? Well, I'm glad Prim can speak now, but she only calls out for her father. But I'm the one who's been taking care of her all this time. What's wrong with her? Calm down, Billy. I'm sure she's just being shy. She'll start calling out for you soon. Why, my own daughter does not even call out her father's name. So, old friend, why were you working alone all the time? Couldn't be helped. Anyway, I'll probably need your help from here on. Okay, I'll tell you more. Let's go to the gun room, get something to drink.
Gotta have a drink for Jessie to talk about stuff.
Right, poor Siggy.
Yep.
When I was in Solaris, I found out about the secret plan. That was the Malak M plan. And it was done under the command of Krelian.
Yeah, so remember the M plan. The M plan is pretty important.
In order to proceed with the plan, many lambs were gathered by the ethos to become guinea pigs. Or should I say, to become reapers or vels. Since I was disgusted with Solaris methods, I decided to investigate it further. I found out that the main scientist central to the implant moved the true facts about it into a test gear. Then he let that test gear escape with his daughter so that the truth would not be discovered. And that, I'm afraid, was the last information that I was able to obtain. Because of what I found out, Myson just ran away.
Yeah, like, nope.
Because of what I found out, I came down to the surface world. And this is where I hid along with my wife Raquel and son Billy. Oh, so this has been going on for a while.
It has.
I've been looking for that gear and the girl ever since. Finally, I find out what the scientist's daughter and gear may be in Shavat. All very well, except now I don't know how in the blazes to get there, or even how to contact the place. Well, Shavat is protected by a strong barrier that even Solaris can't do anything about. So I guess you could say it can't be helped. It's just my luck. That girl's name wouldn't happen to be Maria. Oh?
The Shavat person.
Yeah. Oh, are you two alright? Shouldn't you get some more rest? Yes, I can stand and can even walk now. Thank you. I'm alright too, thanks for asking. Maria? If I remember right, her father's name was Nikolai? I don't know that much, but I have heard rumors about a girl in a gear. It's got to be them. So that huge gear is in Shavat then. That huge gear is Shavat. That'd be funny, actually.
It would be.
So then, how can we get to the Shavat? Is there a way to contact the place? Unfortunately, since I was taken captive, I have no way of contacting them either. I see. There just may be a way. Originally, Shavat was situated on top of Babel Tower. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
They say there's a communication facility to contact Shavat's native country on top of the tower, if only it still exists. There is a good possibility the facility may have been destroyed. Especially when you consider the fact that the tower is sealed by the ethos. You're being pessimistic again. I'm just being realistic. I guess we have no choice but to try and go there. As long as the gate exists, we can't escape from Solaris' influence anyway. In other words, even if we could recover Av from Shakan, it wouldn't immediately be a happy ending. Their secret plan bothers me too. The real secret is that they are using humans gathered from Earth. But I don't quite get the secret plan and the ethos involvement and so on. I've been unconscious for a few days.
Yeah.
What in the hell does Solaris think us surface dweller humans are? Fodder. They've explicitly stated it a couple times.
Yep, that is exactly what they think.
Sorry, I totally forgot that it was your country. But what my country's doing has nothing to do with me. I myself thought something was wrong there, and that's why I came here. So don't worry about me. We've got nothing to lose. Let's try to go there. We need to find the truth about those documents found in the Ethos HQ, and what Billy's father said. And I must go to Shavat too for my own personal reasons anyway. Gotta find my dad.
All right.
Bet you will run into Wiseman in Shavat. No time like the present, huh? Let's go to Babel Tower right away. Oh, baby. I've been waiting for Babel Tower.
All right. Faye is finally back in action here. So we're forming a party to go to Babel Tower. You will have the ability to change around your party if you want. I am probably going to use my favorite party here, just because I can. And you can see Seitan and Ellie have both passed Faye in level, but, you know, that's what happens when he's unconscious for a huge swath of the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great.
Yep.
You're back. Well, did you find anything? Yes, I have obtained a colony of nanomachines. How unsound. How uncouth.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, is the M project proceeding as planned? We need superior bodies and servants. We spent far too much time here. Oh, trying to get vessels for themselves.
Yes.
Can't afford to mistake the ultimate destination of this new civilization. They exist because of their mother. You've betrayed your mother and your creator. Just to sustain your own egos. You have no right to speak so. That was foolish. That was the past. When we were trapped in that cursed flesh, but now it's different. I'll take no orders from you. You've lost that flesh long ago, and now reside in the Soul 9000 as data.
So we finally have a name for the big sphere that the Digimon, the Gazelle Ministry, inhabit, the Sol 9000.
Did you forget who revived you in there? What may be an eternity to man is but a moment to God. I have no need for hesitation.
Yeah, so Krellian clearly doesn't give a damn about their opinion, doesn't really respect them at all.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not really sure how he ties into the structure there.
Yeah, like where does he exist in the structure? So within Solaris / Ethos, we've seen Krellian, we've seen Emperor Kane, and we've seen the Sol 9000 Digimon. Soon, some new parts were brought into our gear shop below. So he will remind you of this. This is a very good time to go ahead and upgrade gears. So that is what I am going to do. I don't remember. I think I unequipped everything from Faye, right? Yep, sure did. Very good. This is a portion of the game where I just recommend just upgrade every gear.
Yeah.
All right, so let's check the accessories first, and then we'll go ahead and tune up everything. Okay, so we do have E-circuits. I'm going to go ahead and grab one more of these. Prevents loss of armor defense. Yeah, so these are things that prevent status effects. Okay, yeah, so fuel drain is blocked by tank guard. Gears engine, I believe that's power loss that it blocks. And then loss of armor defense, AR repair, then frame HPs. So the only thing I personally feel like buying from here is the E-circuit. So that gives us 2. We do have upgrades for weapons here, so that's pretty cool. Go ahead and buy a whip for Bart's gear. This is
Lots
some
of ammo, too.
Yeah, I'm just going to buy a bunch of ammo. I'll buy a few of these stronger ones, too. It's actually not that much more, so I'm actually just going to buy the stronger ammo. Like, doesn't matter.
So, I was looking at this in editing in the last episode.
Yeah.
The ammo, is it like 100 to 1?
Yeah. Yeah, these are
okay, so
these are ammo clips, is what they are,
okay,
really.
Okay, so you're effectively buying 1,000 bullets.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay.
I don't remember what guns exactly. I'm sure he's using the GM10 currently, so I'm going to just buy that. I may pop back in here and go ahead and do that. Okay, so engines, we have some significant upgrades on engines here. So this 3000 is pretty nice. It is an upgrade of 5 output here. But this is a huge upgrade of output. You're just going to have a little less fuel. This is actually less fuel than we have now, 2200. So this is one of the first decisions we really get here on this that isn't just a straight upgrade. I'm probably just going to go with the V28 because I quite like it. I quite like getting the output out of it, but if you want to make sure that you're well fueled and everything, this will have a little more sustain. It's not enough of a difference to really matter that much to me.
Right, I was going to say, is it actually less than what you currently have equipped? Because you have a V18 2000.
Right. I've been meaning to point this out. So you may have noticed that the gears have 2500 fuel. The V18 2000, it should be called the V18 2500. It has 2500 fuel in it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know why it's that way. It's just like bugged or something. It's named incorrectly. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Significant frame HP upgrade for Veltol here, which we haven't used it in a while. The Z alloy. Yeah, that's a good upgrade. We'll go ahead and do that.
300 and 100?
Yep.
Or 10?
Yeah, it's a solid one. All right. Yeah, tune up engine. I think for Vierge, because I do so much ether-based stuff, I am going to go with the 3000 fuel one, because that way I can spam air odds. The output doesn't really affect your ether damage, so just go with that one. Yeah, 8400 there, like that. Yeah, so this is an upgrade from 25 to 3010, so 100 extra AR and then ether AR value up from 5 to 10. I'm not sure if it's cut off on the side, because I would think it would be 100, so I'm pretty sure it's the same scaling for both AR and ether AR. Alright, Titan's gear. I'm going to make it hit a little bit harder, just like Veltol. Look at that. Quite a lot of HP that we can upgrade on these gears.
Nice.
It's a solid upgrade time here. Like I said, you want to upgrade at least the main party you're bringing in. I am going to go ahead and upgrade everyone because I can afford it here. But if you're strapped for cash, just upgrade the ones you like and form a party and ascend Babel Tower. It's probably a good idea to, if at all possible, upgrade everyone. Yeah, so Rin Mazuo here has a 9600 frame, so if you didn't upgrade to the 7200 like I did, this is a good time to go ahead and upgrade it, because that's very significant. Oh yeah, fuel. There we go. And with Rin Mazuo as well, I'm going to go with the higher fuel gear, or fuel engine. Just because Billy is going to be more of an ether-based. And I know a lot of people like Billy, and he will be quite useful in ascending the tower. I personally use Ellie instead for kind of the gear-based, or the ether-based gear.
Makes sense.
But, yeah, Billy is more than serviceable, and if you want to be heavy ether, you can just use them both. Alright, and steer is upgraded. We are in good shape as far as gears go. Let's see, is there anything? I can sell a number of these. I'm not going to sell too many. Okay, yeah, I ended up with a bunch of extra AR plus 4s, so we'll go ahead and sell a bunch of those. These response circuits I've gotten a bunch of, sell for a good bit, so we'll recoup a little of our money. As you can tell, my wallet took kind of a big hit there, but I still have got over 50 grand, so quite expensive round of upgrades, but well worth it. All right. All right, so our next destination here is Babel Tower. A couple of notes. Babel Tower is an important place for progressing the story. So to that end, we are kind of free at this point to wander around as we need to. I don't personally feel the need to grind here currently. We're just going to go ahead and proceed. But if you do, there's a number of places. There's some patches in the desert near the Av Kislev border in Ignas that you can use to grind up money. So if you're trying to get some gear upgrades, you want to upgrade everybody, and you're just really, really short on money, you can head up there and grab a bunch of cash there and sell, all sorts of things. They drop magnetic coats, which sell for a good bit, and some extra AR plus 3s. The other thing I want to make sure to stress here is this is the last chance to purchase ether doublers and holy pendants in Nissan. So my recommendation, if you really want to be powered up here and be taking advantage of everything your party has to offer, have 2 ether doublers and make sure you have 3 holy pendants. Now, you're not going to need to buy 3 holy pendants, because Billy comes with one. So if you haven't bought anything from Nissan at this point and you have extra money, at least buy 1 ether doubler, I'd advise, especially if you want to do some interesting strategies that are way down the line in the game. Those of you that have played before might probably know what I mean, but yeah, it is going to be very good to have at least 1 ether doubler later in the game. Holy pendants aren't immediately useful. You might have noticed like they don't seem to do much. They have a very, very nice use later on in the game. I am going to outline it when we get to it. I can't really go into it right now, but they're good to have, and they're not as expensive as ether doublers. Go ahead and purchase them if you can. And with that, we are going to go ahead and make our way toward Babel Tower here. It is right here in the Aqua V region. And we should be able to just pop right in here. And I am gonna... It occurs to me I haven't messed with the accessories here, so... Into Babel Tower we go.
All right. Oof. That place is wrecked.
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy looking. Now, I believe if you come here before in the game, that you just can't get in. You can get to this entrance part, but you can't actually get into the tower itself. All right.
Wow, what an interesting place.
Yep. And one of my favorite tracks in this game plays in Babel Tower. It's pretty nice.
Be nice to hear it without immediately running into like 17 enemies.
Yep. All right. Yeah, these aren't too bad.
Why you gotta fight the warning signs? They're just telling you to stay out because it's hazardous.
Nope. Oh man, that didn't do any damage, did it? Ow.
Pew.
Ow. Yeah, I should equip a Death Blower 1 on one of my gears here. Alright, so I am going to be navigating the tower a little bit here. But I did want to make sure we had... Oh, yeah. So, Faye has reached the level of learning his XX Death Blow, which I had at 100. So now he has Koho available on foot. He also just learned Yang Power because of his level. Saitan learned Yamiga. So we'll take a look at those abilities here real quickly. I believe Faye is going to also learn Yin Power shortly.
Makes sense.
Yep. So Yang Power, defense up, attack down. Again, don't use this because defensive changes are bugged when it comes to applying to the party. So just literally don't use Yang Power ever. Yin Power is extremely useful though because it is the opposite. So it's attack up, defense down. But because defense down doesn't affect you, it's just a power boost. And it's a better one than Iron Valor. So if you're using Iron Valor, just start using Yin Power instead when Faye learns it.
Yeah, I know you went into it a little bit. Is it just because of the coding in the game?
Yeah.
That, like, defense just failed to get coded properly?
Correct, yeah. Defense buffs specifically don't work. Defense buffs and defense debuffs. I believe armor loss in Gears works when you're affected by it. I'll double check that, but I know on foot defensive buffs and debuffs don't work. So there's no down. And Yamiga is just like it, right? Attack up, defense down. Just use it. Like it's completely fine to go ahead and just use. So.
Right.
All right. But yeah, this is a pretty interesting area. And actually, a question for you: is this what you expected from Babel Tower?
No, I wasn't ready for like all the metal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I do still hold that there's something important here that's going to teach us something.
Ether AR. Yeah. Oh, okay. The other thing to keep in mind mechanically here is the escape option is temporarily disabled. So, yeah, you cannot run from encounters currently.
That's interesting.
Yep. I'm honestly not sure why that is, to be honest. I don't really get why they made that decision, but it is what's going on currently. Let me see if... Yeah, she just does no damage to those. That must be the power difference or something. That's alright. Ellie will be of great use later on with her powered-up air rods, so no regrets. Oh, let's see if Hard Smash does anything. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, there's Yen power. So, like I said, that's the opposite of Yang power, and it is quite useful.
Gotcha.
We should go back and look at this. Okay, yeah, we're going the right way. If you do fall off here, by the way, you will be able to go back right down there to the left there. You can swim over there, and then you're going to have to reascend. So there's routes for doing that. It actually might be beneficial to do it.
There's at least an item over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually going to go... Actually, I don't remember which way is which here, so let's go check that out. Yeah, this does not look like it's going forward. This isn't too hard of an area to at least navigate, but the jumping is a little bit like... I know some people get really frustrated going through this area. Take your time with it, line up your jumps, and hold the run button as you're jumping, as a reminder, because you will lose momentum if you don't. And you'll miss your jump, and then you'll be angry, and just hold the button, and be patient with it. So yeah, Austin, I know you took a lot of notes last time due to the plot developments, so I was wondering if you wanted to go through any of those. We have learned quite a lot, and this area kind of always makes me feel a little contemplative about what's going on in the story, just with the, there's not a lot of dialogue, and you just have this nice music going on and stuff like that, so.
Yeah. Some of this we talked about in the last episode, but let me look at the notes here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite a lot of developments, and especially to me, the Zeboim Ruins is one of the more pivotal story moments around this part of the game, because I know when I first played this game and Ellie began saying the crazy stuff, like she remembered things, it was just like, wait, what's happening? What is this?
Yeah. I think it's actually where I want to start, because I think we kind of covered a lot of like the heavy, dense points with the ethos, especially with their archives and kind of discovering where ethos was created, right? They created by the Solarians to literally usher humans' growth a certain direction for their benefit. But we didn't really get to hash out much of like what happened in the Zeboim Ruins.
Right. Oh.
And one of the weirdest things happens really early. They get to the bridge, right? And you can see this just monstrous metropolis in the distance.
Ah, yes.
And we still haven't seen much of it, but like it's huge.
Yeah, it's massive.
And the story being told about Zeboim is that it sank beneath the ocean 4,000 years ago. Now,
sort of like Atlantis, right?
Right, but the question I have is like, how is it not submerged unless like years of sediment and stuff have like created a covering of it? Yeah, but even so, there's a lot of space there. Yeah. Right?
I think they mentioned there was like a shell over it, sort of thing. It's like enclosed.
Maybe. I asked if it was enclosed. I don't know if it was ever explicitly stated or not.
I think it was mentioned at some point in some throwaway dialogue that like the shell around it, something, it was kind of just called out as part of a sentence.
Yeah, in the same way that like Shivat has a shell around it.
Not exactly. I think they mentioned it was like so Shivat's, the shield is like an energy shield or maybe a metamaterial shield, which is, essentially an energy shield. It certainly looks like an energy shield. The thing about an energy shield is, they've estimated the Zeboim Ruins are 4,000 years old. Would one operate for that amount of time? Maybe.
Right. Well, I mean, it still has power, so who knows?
Yeah, it does still seem to have power. Why is that? Good grief.
I guess, at the very least, it had some kind of dome.
Yeah.
around it,
Mhm.
which, again, the technological advancement to do that would be just
Yeah,
enormous.
it's staggering. Yeah.
So, anyway, we're already reeling from how just enormous this area is. And then Ellie just says this really out of pocket statement
Yup.
when she says, "We were buried in a vast mausoleum."
Yeah, that's what it was.
And you're like, hold the phone.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
What? Yeah.
And Sidon is immediately uneasy. I think he has suspicions, but we still don't know what that means, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we do not.
So, and this weird thing happening to Ellie kind of just continues in spaces as
Right.
we get deeper and deeper into the labyrinth.
Mhm.
To the point where we get to like the end of the line, so to speak. And she says she's been here all this time.
Yeah.
Alone.
Mm-hmm.
Which initially I thought might have been like maybe she's sensing. Oh wow, that looks like a really janky mechanic to deal with.
Yeah, you have to gain momentum to get across this, by the way. So I'm doing right, left, right, left.
Oh,
It's a mess.
that looks awful. Okay, well while you're dealing with that,
Yep.
so
Nope.
nope.
This is why this is a good place to talk about some stuff, because we're going to be
Sure.
here a minute.
Sure. So like we have this knowledge of her, which we later learn is this nanomachine colony.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because
We
they
can talk
find
about
the
that more
girl.
in a minute.
Yeah,
but-
a little bit. But yeah, we later learn that.
And so Ellie again consumed by something else, and other literally takes over her and goes to this computer that they didn't have the password for and says, "O vessel for a new soul, may the soul that resideth in you find peace."
Yes. And that seems to be a passphrase for the computer, because they couldn't
Right.
figure it out. They were like, "How do we get in here?" kind of thing. She suddenly knows how to get into it. Like, what?
Right. And I've been musing over the use of words here, because
Wow.
vessel, new soul, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's around this time, roughly, or not long after, when we see Faye beginning to wake up, and there's words splash across the screen.
Yes.
Our cursed existence bound to the earth. O vessel for a new soul created to remove that yoke.
Right.
So I feel like those are tied together with the passphrase. Like I think there's something very important that kind of connects those two together.
Yep. It does seem like there's similar words being used, right?
Yeah. And so what I'm wondering is this nanomachine technology, this colony,
Mm-hmm.
is clearly special, right? Like it's more than just nanotech. This is something more than that. Like it's elevated beyond just standard technology.
Oh, so close.
That was close.
Yeah.
And
There's a reason so many people were after it, right? Like,
right.
Stone was after it for Krellian, basically, and we were in pursuit of them. And the Soul 9000 elders seem to be disdainful or apathetic toward it.
Right. And Stone does say that he calls this nanomachine colony a key factor that Solaris will. Well, I think the words he actually said was, "That is the existence or key factor which God will guide us to free humanity from its yoke."
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Digimen even used the word yoke recently,
Yes.
or and the context I got from that was in regards to their own physical bodies.
Right.
And so I'm beginning to wonder if this nanomachine colony was designed to be a vessel for a human soul.
Yeah. Or, if it's an artificial life form, perhaps it's referencing, like, does this, what would I even call it? Like a technological life form, right? Because it's not exactly an android if it's just a nanomachine colony. It's not exactly the same thing.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, there's often... Yeah, I mean, just one of my own references, right? Next Generation, Star Trek, Measure of a Man.
Yep.
They're asking the question. Yeah, they're asking the question, does this machine, does this android have a soul?
Right.
And they don't know.
Right. TNG actually explores several other instances where it's a non-organic sentience that they're running into.
Yes.
Some of that is like, what's the word for? It's not really synthetic. It's not the right word for it, but like, it's non-carbon based life forms. Non-humanoid.
Silicon based.
So yeah, so I think one of them was silicone based, one of them was metallic, right?
Like, sure, yeah.
There's a bunch of different ones, but there are definitely several times when like the computer gains sentience for some reason,
yes.
And they have to discover like these tiny. I think nanites are actually one of the things they explore, where these tiny nanites have discovered a intelligence that is growing as the episode progresses.
Yes.
And causes all kinds of problems for the ship until they find out a way to communicate in the most like binary of ways.
That was the one with the where it was in the sand and they bring it up, is that right?
It might have been. It might have been something in the sand, yeah.
I am failing as a Trekkie currently. I can't remember the episode name, but it's an early episode of the Next Generation.
It's because you're distracted. Guaranteed, if you weren't playing Xenogears, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's this episode from this season at this time."
You're probably
timestamp
right.
This,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
So yeah, all that to say, it could be about that, right? Because it is a new soul is being used here.
Yeah.
So it could be that they are attempting to create life, so to speak.
Yeah. Oh, it appears to be some kind of relay station. Okay. All right. Yeah, so he's just looking up at that. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, we don't have to digress too far into Star Trek for that, because there's clearly some weird thing happening with the dialogue from Faye and Ellie at this point. And there's also the cutscene that happens where someone who looks like Faye is there as well, right?
Yeah, and actually, I was going to ask, because Ellie says, covered in blood, my blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then not even 10 minutes later, we run into this cutscene.
Yes.
And is that Ellie's memory of her being on the floor where all those gunners are? Because like you have the Faye lookalike behind this sealed door, and there's a woman on the floor.
And
I wonder if that's the memory that Ellie is seeing, right?
Right.
And they're clearly trying to protect this nanomachine colony because they find value in it. They call it their daughter. I can't let them take my daughter.
Right.
And I'm just really curious about like what that really means.
Yep. I feel like it's a really salient question for like what is happening here.
Right. I could see it going a couple different ways, right? Because like on the one hand, it could be very much like a Data situation, right?
Right.
Where they've created true artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a growing sentience that ultimately becomes more human than a lot of the human characters in the show.
Yes, that's certainly true.
Conversely, it could be that perhaps this iteration of Faye and Ellie had a daughter, something happened to her, and they used the nanomachine colony to preserve her soul, her mind, her consciousness.
Her meaning Ellie?
No, the daughter.
The daughter? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so like Ellie, this iteration of Ellie and Faye had a daughter. Something happened to the daughter.
Right.
Maybe a sickness, or she was wounded, or whatever. And they used the nanomachines to preserve her consciousness, to give her life when she would normally have died.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thought, and I like it for reasons I will not be able to explain for a while. But yeah,
Right.
It's, yeah.
And I think it leans a little bit into some things that have been alluded to by the elders
Mm-hmm.
in the Soul 9000, especially. I mean, like they discarded their flesh and ended up trapped in the Soul 9000 because I think they were trying to do something similar and failed to do so.
Right.
Because we've already gotten discussions about how Solaris has been experimenting on humans, which is how we have demi-humans, because they're trying to find a way to restore humanity, right? To
What was they used a specific term for that? It was oh, this rope is climbed automatically, by the way.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I think we're into the next section here. Excellent. Got a save point. Good. That's one good thing about Babel Tower. There are save points all over the place, so you're generally not going to fall all the way to the beginning without recourse.
I don't remember exact words they use. I don't have it listed here. I don't think.
We'll be a little more precise because we're going to be continuing. We're not going to get all the way to the top of this tower in this episode, so we will certainly circle back to that. Oh,
but what I have here is demi-humans were created by ancient Solaris to restore humanity, and that's kind of what it was given. But it's an imperfect science. And it's implied that Krellian is attempting to do something very similar.
Right.
But his process is obviously very different because he's not creating demi-humans. He's creating undead abominations.
He's creating the wells. Yeah. Some kind of breezy... And he's creating them out of humans, which is...
Right.
Yeah. It's something for sure. Oh, we got a doorway here. Here we go.
So, yeah. And so it all kinds of questions.
It
kind of stem from all of that, and we touched on a little bit this idea that so we were touching on some of the religious imagery between Stein and Billy as well.
This appears to be the relay station control room.
Andy, let's try a few things around here.
Yeah.
Just poke a billion buttons.
Yeah, just press every button. Yep. You mess with it up here.
Oh. How convenient.
Yeah. You notice anything about these? We'll take a look at the panels here, but yeah, this will be convenient for us here.
Okay, I was just thinking that it was odd there was a door on the side of the wall and that it maybe needed to be reoriented. But if this is a space elevator, then maybe it's meant to be designed that way.
Yeah. So, what is this that we're standing in front of? Here, I'll get out of the way.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it looks like it's... Because the door is what I noticed. The door on the right there.
Yep.
How it's in the middle of the wall. And I was like, it looks like it should be rotated so that they're...
Yep, you see that one up there?
Yeah, same thing.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Why is the tower situated that way?
Yeah. Very good question. I remember looking at these, and I didn't really think a lot about it, but yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on with the panels and the orientation of things, for sure.
Right. Well, and then the train showing up the way it does begs some questions as well.
What's that?
The way the turbo lift train
yes.
shows up, because it's on a rail, and it looks like it should be oriented not vertically.
Yeah, indeed.
So, yeah. The religious.
Yeah.
So Stein is proclaiming a specific doctrine that there is a chance to save a selected number of people,
A select few people,
by using by using the machinery that's here in Zeboam.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Billy is not for it. He's like, it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you have a selected group of people when everyone should have the freedom to choose
Right.
salvation, essentially? And I won't harp on it too much because we talked about it last time, but like,
Yeah.
I find that symbolism very interesting because of the representation or the representative like nature of how it looks and feels like Roman Catholicism.
Ah, yes.
And in a lot of ways, Billy, even in the way he's dressed in a habit, the way the habit looks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, some of that leans into a more Protestant facing, like, analogous features.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. I found it interesting, the similarities to existing theology in our world, for sure. You have to forgive me. I am trying to kind of navigate this place a little bit, but yeah,
Right.
It begs the question a lot, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
Where exactly are we going with a lot of this theological stuff? Are they
Right.
talking what is this God? Like Verlaine was saying, is there such a being as God? From like an inquisitor, and it begs the question because he's a Solarian agent, right? It's like, huh?
Right. And we have things like Josiah saying, God was in you all along. Right. And Sight makes it clear that Josiah is atheist, right? Like he doesn't believe that gods exist. He's not a faithful or a religious person.
Right. He's not religious. He might have some kind of spiritualism. Like he certainly had a lot to say about that sort of thing, and some of it I took as he's helping his son process as he watched his faith kind of collapse,
Right.
But yeah, it is interesting. He certainly isn't known to Satan as a religious person. That's for
Right.
sure.
And we've gotten several expressions of God in this story already. We've got the elders who call themselves gods.
Yes.
We've got Krelian, who essentially called himself God.
Looks like we can get to the upper room through here. We need to get out of the gears and cross via the handrails. Okay, yeah. It's a little hint about what to do here.
Interesting.
The
The beam jammer.
Yeah, you said Krelian. What was the note about Krelian?
Well, he kind of called himself God in that interaction with the elders.
That's
'Cause
true.
He was like, time is of no consequence to a god, and the way he was speaking felt like he was referring to himself. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
You think you scare me? Because time is irrelevant for him.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah, really fast. Here we go.
So, and then we also have things like, hey, this is what, this is the existence or key factor which God will guide us by to free humanity from its yoke. Was Stein talking about Krelia, or was he talking about Solaris?
About
because
Krelian?
Solaris is also, because Solaris has also been referred to as God loosely. before.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, certainly the elders are saying that they are gods, but yeah, what does it actually mean? And there's a lot of almost Nietzschean, like, the conception of God is more important than whether it exists or not.
Right.
In some ways, in some scenarios, especially with the ethos, where they're saying, hey, it doesn't really matter. Like, this is what we say is God, and this is, society is reliant on the ethos, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Looks like the
driver's seat is next to it.
Okay, yeah. So we need to head up to the driver's seat. Yeah. Once again, the orientation is really odd, right?
Right.
Here we go. Here?
Click, 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 click. Hey, it started. All right, let's go.
Let's go.
They're just gonna get like blasted to the floor and just from the sheer G forces.
Yeah, just crazy amounts of. Not going too quickly.
Yet. Oh, it just floats. It's not on a rail. It just looked like it was on a rail.
Boom.
There it goes.
Yeah. I think I believe it's like a magnetic railing.
Yeah, I see. Because the railing does continue, but it's not attached necessarily. We're literally launching ourselves like a railgun up this tower.
Plowing through some things.
The tower is huge.
Yeah, it's massive. Zoom.
This turbo lift is ridiculous.
Yup.
Where are we going to climb to?
Rumble, rumble, rumble. I can't move currently, so.
Hey, we're going out of the outer wall.
Here we go. So this began inside the tower. Now we're on the outer wall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I gave the tower enough credit to how big around it is.
It's utterly massive.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
What happened here?
Did they get shot or did something explode?
Why can't both be true? No. They got shot.
Yeah,
A shot from where?
Crap, the trek's gone. We're going outside.
Yeah, so now this lift can only go so far.
Gotta find another one. Who would be shooting them?
Good question.
What's that? It's a Graf. Wow, they're really high up.
They are.
What? A Gebler ship? Oh, that looks like Ramses' ship.
It does, doesn't it?
Or at least that's the style of ship he's normally in. Oh, yep, there he is.
Yup.
How did he know they were there?
Indeed. Look at their stylish flying.
Look at them falling with style.
Mm-hmm.
What is that gear? I've been waiting for you, Faye. Last time at sea, I was rendered unconscious by a surprise trader, but that won't happen this time. I won't let you go up. How did they know we were here?
Asking the relevant questions.
But I removed the recognition code and tracking. Our backs to the wall. We can't run. I guess we have to fight. Here we go.
All right. Ramses, once again. So he's very similar to all of his encounters. Miang is here, untargetable. We cannot target her. We only can target Wyvern, Ramses' gear. The important thing to watch out for with this fight is do not hit him when he's in mirror stance. He will assume it at a certain point here. We are more than a match for him at this point, especially with my new favorite attack. Another thing to note that I forgot to mention, at this point, Billy also has the Jessie cannon skill, which we've already seen it. It was used on Alconchil. Oh, that might one-shot him. Yep, Ramses is done. That's how strong Power Magic and Ether Doubler is. It's absolutely busted.
Good grief.
But Jessie Cannon is a single target Ether Magic skill, Ether attack. It does crazy amounts of damage. Don't worry, you will see it, I promise, in this playthrough. But it's the same animation we just saw against Alconchil. It's just a normal attack for him now.
Dad, I need you to get into this bullet. Can you?
Yeah. He improved it.
Ouchy-Wow-Wow.
Yeah.
Ouchy-Wow-Wow. It's not over. Not yet. No, Commander. Pull out. Let's go, Myung. I can't retreat now.
Gah.
Gah. It's impossible with your wounds.
Too much ether attack.
Bridge. Secure retreat. Main gun elevation 0.8. Support fire 30. Fire.
Like, we're not chasing you. You could just
Right.
leave.
Right. So you had asked who I thought the original elements were, like what element they had.
Mm-hmm. Oof.
From above? No, it couldn't be. Bridge. Yeah, see, you cause problems, and then Grellian shows up, and he's causing problems.
There are all sorts of problems.
Dimensional vibrations, level 8. A huge formation is coming this way. I think Mion is shadow, or dark, or whatever.
Ah, gotcha.
It just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure where to put her before, and I think I mislabeled. And I think Ramses might actually be light for those elements.
That's an interesting
as
idea.
Just as I feared. Shabbat. Change heading 180 degrees now. Oh.
So
okay.
Ramses' ship just took fire from Shivat.
Nice. All ships, full speed. Retreat from this position. See, this is what you get. You flew too close to the sun, and then you get shot down by Shabbat.
Yup, pretty much. Yeah, Shivat is apparently quite formidable if they can toe-to-toe with Gebler battleship there.
Like an air attack. Let's go see.
Yep. All right, so we got a save point after this, which is excellent. Anyway,
Yeah.
you were saying, oh yeah, regarding the elements.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. Jessie was referred to as their senior. How do you think he fits into the original elements?
Jessie is a man of the earth. Good sir.
Man of the earth. Fair enough.
Yeah. He's not a man of the sea. He's a man of the earth.
We are men of the
he's
sea.
very grounded. He's a very grounded guy.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
fair.
I assuming he is an element, a previous element,
Mm-hmm.
he might be earth.
Fair enough. All right. So, by the way, at this point, I mentioned before you cannot run from battles. Now you can. Once you get to this point in the tower, you can escape battles. So, if you need to, that option is now available again.
Maybe it's to indicate the limited space to run.
That's
Because you're on
possible.
these narrow platforms trying to get to and from places.
Completely rusted door. All right, so we're gonna have to go in this other one. There's our. We could see our little tram down there. That's stuck where it is. So unfortunately, we couldn't ride it all the way up because of Ramses' shenanigans.
Right.
Oh yeah, there's also what looked like a giant mirror on the top of it. That was pretty interesting. I don't know if you
That was
guys.
the window.
Yeah, so let's take a look at it real quick. We could sort of see it from here. It was in the cutscene, but you can see kind of that blue up there. It could be a window.
Yeah.
It could be like a mirror. It's sort of hard
Yeah,
to
I
determine
just-
what it is. It's something crazy looking though.
Right. I legit just assumed it was an enormous window.
That's fair.
So I'm trying to look at my notes here, see if there's anything else we haven't really covered.
Yeah.
They kind of covered the majority of it.
Part 2.
We did learn that the demon of Elru was named Id,
Mm-hmm.
which as we discussed before, is one of the like 3 aspects of the psyche.
Yep. Within Freudian, neo-Freudian psychology.
Right, with it being the primal, instinctual, kind of animalistic brain.
Yep.
The lizard brain, if you will.
Yep. Yeah, I think that term's even used when describing the id.
Yeah. So that's interesting. And then Wiseman shows up to fight id.
He does.
And right now, I didn't get to finish my thought on this because I talked about how I think Choo-Choo's actually Wiseman, which I obviously don't think that.
Oh, yeah. Choo-Choo is clearly behind everything.
Right. I do think that perhaps Wiseman is actually Faye's dad at the moment.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I have no basis for that. Outside of it could have been id, but now there's no way it can be id.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know who else Wiseman could be of what we've learned thus far. And I feel like,
yeah, I mean,
the majority of the major players have been introduced in some regard.
Yeah. Wiseman does indicate when we're in Nortune that he knew Khan. So, was he lying there? Or is something else going on? You know, assuming Wiseman is Faye's father, where would that statement fall?
Right. Okay. So again, from a certain point of view, right?
Yes.
Because I also talked about how I don't think Faye's father is actually dead, and that Faye will end up having to fight his father.
Ah, interesting.
Even though that person may not view themselves as Khan anymore.
Ah, I see.
Right. So, and Ramses recognizes that it has the same fighting style as Faye.
That's true.
Who else has the same fighting style as Faye? And id, Wiseman does, because Faye calls it out. How do you have the same fighting style that I do?
Oh, that's true. Yep.
So, obviously, there's no way to think that it's not multiple students for one martial arts master.
Sure.
But
yeah.
I'm assuming that Wiseman and id, and if they are separate entities, Wiseman, id, and Faye's father all trained at the same time.
Wiseman, id, Faye's father all trained at the same time. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, but theoretically, if Wiseman does not view himself as Khan anymore, he could still be physically Faye's father.
Ah, interesting.
But from maybe because he lost his memories too, maybe because for various reasons, Khan had to die mentally, like to himself. He had to kill off that part of himself.
Sure. Yeah.
In a symbolic gesture or whatever, to protect Faye or to accomplish something else. It doesn't matter. There's a plethora of reasons why that might be the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's interesting. I feel like this line of thought is good, and I was certainly asking the same questions the first time I went through this game. Like, who are these people? Like, something more is going on that I am not privy to, and it's almost like... So, there's the problem in a lot of stories, I feel like, where use your words ends up getting screamed at the screen because you're just like, they're not explaining things that could easily fix some of these situations.
Right.
And I really don't think this game is guilty of having that problem. There are times where people are being obscure about what they're saying, and sometimes it's done. For example, like whenever Myung and Graf are talking, they seem to be so familiar with things that are going on that they are using a bunch of pronouns. So the viewer is confused, but they both know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly fine. At a certain point, it's like, God, just stop using pronouns. Like, what are you talking about? You know, it invokes curiosity, but it's not that frustrating, like, just say what you're trying to say, you know, like they're not here's the big reveal, and then they wander off or something. And it's like, no.
Right. Yeah, a lot of the times when we have this feeling of just use your words, at least in this game, for me.
Yeah.
They are purposefully being coy about something.
Yeah.
And it's often to protect information that doesn't need to be just thrown out whenever.
Yeah.
Right? Like when Seitan and Sigurd finally said, okay, we're going to tell you and Bart everything that we know.
Right.
Which I still don't think was everything, but it was everything that was pertinent to the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly relevant.
That was basically like, hey, we didn't want to say anything just yet because that information puts us in danger and it puts you in danger.
Right. Two-cylinder. We got another treasure down here.
Is this the crashed ship?
Why do you say that? Because of the...
There's not a reason to have built it this way, where it's a tower, right? But it's like... And we also have, oh, God destroyed the tower or whatever.
We're walking on the screens. Their chairs are all pointed down or up or, weird angles.
If it was truly built like in its location and not something that just like crashed into the surface,
right,
then I really doubt you would have oriented it this way. So and just some of the like layout stuff feels just the tiniest bit
reminiscent,
familiar to the beginning set of sequences. So I'm just curious if this is possibly debris or something from the crashed ship.
Look at that.
Huh. Holy crap, he's got a laser cannon.
What's happening there?
What the? Communications are up.
Can we press this button? Nah, it's just kind of flashing.
Lock clear.
All right, done. Anything over here? Nope. Oh yeah, I think this just moves it back.
Yeah.
Oh no, it orients it the same way each time.
Huh.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just like, huh? What's going on here? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, now we gotta reascend out of here.
Yep.
What the? Yeah.
Yeah. And as a complete non sequitur, just again looking at my notes, the last thing I wrote down while I was working on the edit, and I noticed that the Gebler guards they didn't seem to be firing bullets at you. They looked like they were firing lasers.
Yep.
So does Solaris have pew-pew laser gun technology?
They seem to have advanced technology at least, and they did look like they were lasers. They weren't just like, guns like what Billy uses.
Right.
There's clearly like your standard firearms in this world, but there also seems to be more advanced weaponry. Where did this why is there such a differential,
Yeah, and it's not like lasers are so wild of an idea, because obviously Gears predominantly fire lasers, and we've encountered several ships that do it.
The Aerods fire lasers.
Right, but these are all larger constructs versus like a handheld laser pistol, which is not something we've really seen until this point.
Yeah.
So I found that curious.
It certainly is quite curious.
But these are also Krellian's Gebler guards, so maybe Krellian he might be like the Deloco of the group, right? Where he's he is the R&D mastermind, the Hojo, the mad scientist. Like maybe he's developed a handheld version of an Aerod or whatever.
Sure. For my fuel, thanks.
So,
Yeah, it's interesting. It's something I always had a question about. You know, we've got several characters that are clearly versed in martial arts. Bart uses a whip. Billy uses standard firearms, guns, and Ellie uses like rods. And there's clearly like ether abilities from party members. You know what we haven't seen as far as like wider JRPG stuff? We haven't seen anybody that uses a sword in the party.
that's true.
Yep. Currently, nobody uses a sword. We have seen swords being used. So Ramses uses a sword. Dominia, her attacks, she uses a sword.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Her gear has a sword as well, Blade Gash. Let's just get close to max here. We got the fuel to do it. Yep.
Seems like swords are rarer, at least.
Yeah.
Wonder if that's because the metal is being reserved for like gear repairs and stuff.
Ooh, how far down does this go?
To your doom.
I think this. Let me see. Yeah, treasure. That's what I wanted. You also might have noticed Ellie is learning some. Let's just take a look at her abilities. I think she's gotten all the ones for her level. Yeah, okay. So she's learned a new set of abilities. So these are area. She's learned her all abilities, right? In all elements. So wind, earth, fire, water. And they're
Terra Ghost. That's interesting.
Terra Ghost, Aqua Lord, Thermo Largo, Animo Wave. Yep. So these are excellent. I like them quite a lot. I like the single targets. The areas are, you know, circumstantial. If the enemies are all bunched together, these are going to be a good idea to use. Now, keep in mind, if you're using an ether doubler, you're going to be burning 20 EP to use any of these hit-alls. And you see Ellie is 69 EP currently, so that's a large percentage. So I would reserve them for situations, or if you just want to try them out, or unequip the doubler if you're fighting with her on foot and you want to use them, or in your gear for that matter. But just keep in mind, you're burning a lot of EP, so have some Omega Sols handy, or your Biz Fruit, or anything like that if you want to use that. In her gear, I tend to just use air odds, so obviously.
Handle with care.
Yep. Just beware. Okay, so now we can head south. Oh, I can't jump because it's a battle.
The curved nature makes me think of like a space station a little bit. Specifically like the Yorha space station near Automata.
Oh, sure, yeah.
With this long like hallway.
Yeah, the hallway that curves around, yeah.
Which makes me wonder if the interior of Shavat looks like a space station.
Yes. We don't know what the interior of Shavat looks like yet. It's certainly curious. Like I know when I first played this game, I was curious what that even was. First, it just evoked a lot of curiosity. I'm like, what is this weird UFO flying around? Oh.
Scary. Oh, it's all the way over there.
Yep.
And I'm assuming you can fall and have to retrack your steps.
I believe so, yeah. I don't recall what happens if you fall off of this. We'll see if we have to find out. I'm going to try not to. Okay, so this is interesting. There's a set of weapons for Ellie in this tower. They are all the same attack power. I'm using the Thunder one currently. It's a wind. This has the same attack power. It's just water. So we're picking up elemental weapons for her gear currently.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Scary.
Let me think if there's anything more I wanted to cover. I don't think so. Like, I feel like it's a good idea to just kind of be a little reflective of this game sometimes, because it just... There are, as we've seen, both with the scene where, the demon shows up for the first time in his gear, nearly kills Bart, knocks Ramses' gear to pieces, and then throws a warship. It's just, so much stuff happened, so many questions came up, and then the same with the last episode. There were so many revelations, so many things happened, and we still have so many questions, right?
Right.
And it's just a good idea, and I like that the game does, I like Babel Tower. Some people really don't like it, and I understand because platforming's annoying. But, some people like platforming. I feel like this game certainly isn't a platformer, so it's functional, but I'm not a big fan of it. But I like the space that this area gives to contemplate, what has happened so far. What is going on? The characters themselves beg the questions as much as the plot developments.
Right. You mean to tell me you don't play JRPGs for their pristine, precise platforming skills?
I know, right? Oh, wow. He chose to restore Ellie's fuel instead of Faye's. Okay. Well, that's fine with me. She certainly was a little bit lower than everybody else. You could probably keep your gears at mid-range HP. I just kind of heal them as I go here. And as you can tell, the game still is throwing some things to restore fuel at us, which is pretty nice. We just need to go this way. Okay, yeah. I think there is a... Yep. Hey, buddy.
Self-repairing robot. Bzz, crackle. Refuels and resupply.
Ask. Okay, yeah. So I believe the tune-up here is the same. Oh yeah, actually it isn't because he has nothing. But we can use this. We can pay to restore HP and fuel to our gears. So that's nice. Any parts? Nope. Any weapons? Nope. Yeah. So this repair bot literally the only thing you can do with it is just heal your gears. Crackle. Thank you. Come again.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, we're actually pretty close to the top of the tower here. I'm going to see if I can get to a save point here. We're getting close to a good stopping point, I'd say. We've ascended this tower in good time, and there is, as one might expect, there's shenanigans afoot at the top.
These enemies are very interesting.
They are. They've got
because they really do look like just caution robots, right? That were maybe designed to have self-defense capabilities. Traffic jam. Look at that.
Traffic jam. Yep.
But to have those capabilities to regulate what was going on in the ship.
Yeah.
And I think they've probably just gone haywire over the years of being dysfunctional.
Yep. Indeed. Let's see. Just take a look here. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to grab this treasure. I think this may be a good spot to go ahead and call it for this episode. So this is going to be a rare point when we're not near a save point when doing that, but I think it's justified at this point because we have been at it for a little bit here. Did you have any other thoughts before we conclude things here?
No, I've exhausted my notes at the moment.
All right, no problem. Yeah, so you had kind of the same question. I just wanted to close by mentioning you had sort of the same question I did when I'm starting to see these rooms that are all like, they look like they're turned on their side. Like, wait a minute. I'm thinking back to the intro of this game, and I'm like, hold on a second. Is this the ship? What's happening here?
Right.
And if it is, how did it end up oriented like this? What exactly has happened? How long has it been here? It certainly doesn't look the same from the outside. It looks like it's a kind of a what's the color? Tan, like almost looks like it's a stone tower. But then you get in here and there's all these weird advanced systems, and there's a pristine little panel we can rotate on the side of it, and there are chairs that are like mounted to the wall. We have to jump to get to doors. It's crazy.
Right. Well, it looks like a stone tower until you get up to it, and then you can see all the like shrapnel elements as you're walking to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of like rusted edges and all kinds of stuff. So
yeah,
it depends on the quality of the material, but it's been around a while, to say the least.
It does look like it's been around for some time. That's true. Yeah. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, so next time we are going to be concluding our climb of this tower. We have progressed most of the way up. So at the top, we are climbing this tower in an effort to contact Shivat finally. So hopefully we'll get some answers there and a little bit more developments here. And we have dealt with Ramses as well, of course, because he is not pleased we're climbing the tower, but he can't do anything about it when, his ship gets blasted.
Right.
But yeah, so we will be back next time with the conclusion of Babel Tower. And we're going to be getting into some more stuff. And there are a couple of other lore notes I'm probably going to want to go over at that time as we're finishing this up, because there is still a little bit of a section to do. So look forward to that, and the story will be picking back up pretty shortly here with some more scenes, exposition, stuff like that. So,
oh, good. More racking of the brain.
That's right. But hopefully this little reprieve, this little pause has been good for processing some things.
Right.
And yeah, definitely like, subscribe. If you're enjoying it, definitely reach out in the comments if you'd like. We love reading your comments. So definitely, even if you don't want to comment on this game and just comment on like a topic we're bringing up, or, say something random. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we hope you're enjoying this playthrough. I know I'm having a great time going back through this game, all the nostalgia, all the feelings and emotions and stuff. And yeah, intriguing.
Yeah. Be sure to check out our other series too. We've got the Coffee Talk, Tea Time series running. We've got Wind Waker. We've got the Completed Sky series and Unpacking. So if you need something a little more cozy to kind of offset some of the intense brain activity to help you kind of calm down for the day, check out some of those other series.
Yep.
And, more than anything else, just thanks for hanging out with us. We love having you here. So we hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you all in the next video.
See you next time, everybody, with more Xenogears.
Bye-bye now.
Diddly diddly do 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 do. Thanks for watching.